Right, this is a video of how to make a split stick style trap trigger. And what I've got is one stick, probably thick as your thumb, and a small twig. Trying to think how thin that is. Thick as a chopstick kind of thing. So with this larger stick, I've already cut one end off flat, so I'm just going to cut this end off flat as well. Doesn't necessarily have to be flat, you probably could do this pointed, but it all depends. It might make it a bit harder to set if it's pointed, but if it's harder to set, that probably means it's going to go off easier. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half. Shouldn't really be sawing without shoes on, but so that's cut in half. Now you want to clean these ends off. See, that end's probably alright. This is where the old German army knife is excellent for building trap triggers. It's got a decent blade, a decent saw, and you've even got an awl on the back for making holes. Proper good knife for doing trap triggers. Now basically this is going to sit on top of each other like this. But this is going to be in the middle. So what we need to do is cut a slight notch here and a slight notch here. I'm just going to zoom in so you can see it better. So it's going to go like this, standing up, but this one is going to sit in the middle there. And the other one is going to sit on top, so it needs a notch, so these two are level. We'll touch in like this. And the easiest way to do that, if you've got one, is with a saw on your knife. Now the other side. What I'm doing, I'm just laying these on, finding a good place where it seems to straighten up. So about there, I'm going to mark it so I know. Because obviously if you've cut this slightly slanted on one side sits like this, when you put it on, you want to rotate this round so it seems a good fit. Well, that seems a good fit there. Can you see? Just going to mark that there. What you want to do though, you don't want to do this so loose that once these are together, if an animal comes along and manages to just pull it straight out or anything, you want it so it's fairly tight-ish. So to make this slightly easier for me, what I'm going to do is we're going to narrow this down a bit. Right. So we've got a notch each end, so 2 flat bits with a notch and a notch that sits in there. That one sits on top like that. I'll take that outside and set that up. But I'll just quickly tell you, if you want some measurements, roughly, just rough measurements. So that's roughly from your fingertip to about your wrist. Do about the same, and this one is just a little bit longer. Now obviously what you'll need to do next is you need to use some sort of deadfall or a cage. Well, that's a different thing. You'll have to just find a rock, a log or something which is going to fit to go with this. Now if you do massive great traps, you're going to have to make this all different sizes. What I'll do, I'll take this outside and we'll have a go with the cage what I've got made. Right, so this cage I've got will probably catch something like a small bird, partridge or something like that, pheasant, no not pheasant, pigeon or a squirrel. So this lot I've made would correspond with that. If you wanted bigger traps, you'd have to just make this larger. Can take a fair bit of setting up these ones, but you see, really simple to do. That's the good thing about it. Bait on the end, or have something, you can have a deadfall and then have this so the animal passes past it and the rock falls on its head or whatever. Obviously the animal hits the bait stick and it comes down. Right, cheers for watching and I'll see you later.